Hi, guys. I will wait just about a minute because this is an impromptu. Oh, God, help me. I look a mess. It is what it is. I'm going to wait about a minute before I get started because you guys asked for something to. How do you um, onboard a new teamie, or what's like the first things first type of thing? And I'm going to work on getting videos uploaded here as well as my YouTube page so that you can have to reference, because I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable, and I want to make sure that you guys are launching your teamies with confidence. So if you're watching live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. I cannot. Hi, Christina. I cannot wait to fully get this page set up because, yeah, there's obviously a need, and we're gonna meet your guys' needs so that you feel comfortable um, onboarding your new teamies. So, first of all, hi, Daisy. Um, it's very, very important that we understand we need a system when we become a leader and when we start to bring people into our team so that we have a duplicatable thing that we can do over and over with every new teammate, and we're not scrambling to try to figure things out, right? Okay, so the very first thing, I'm going to just jump right in, guys, because I'm going to upload this link to my YouTube. That way people have access to it. And it's also going to be pinned here under the announcements, okay? So I want to make sure you guys have everything in one place, and off we go. Okay, so when we get a new teamie, we are so excited, right? We're just like, oh my gosh, yes. And then sometimes we just word vomit all over them and we just give them all the information in the world, right? And then they end up feeling so overwhelmed that they do nothing. We want to make sure that we don't do that, okay? We want to make sure that we're giving them piece by piece. And in this training, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can put your own system in place, or you can put your own training together for your people, because that's why it's so good. Our business can be ran however works best for us. Okay, so I'm just gonna feed you what I do when I onboard a new teamie. Okay, onboard a new teamie means we're welcoming them and we're getting them set up. I'm looking down because my notes are here, guys. Okay, so as soon as we get that email saying they joined, congratulations, your team is growing, that email. Once we get that, I immediately text them to welcome them. On that email, there is their phone number. So I literally just hold down that phone number and then I'll send them a welcome text. And the welcome text says something like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, I'm so excited. Congratulations, you're a Sensi consultant. I cannot wait to get you going. Until then, make sure you keep an eye out for your email. Once you get the email from Sensi, click on that link and begin to work on your launch your business checklist, or your first things first checklist. Okay, so that's the very first thing I do once I get that email. Hi, Christiana. Um, because that's what I want them to do. I want them to go over that link before we talk about anything, right? Because Sensi gives them exactly what they need to get started. Okay, now, once I do that, let me back up a minute. We want to make sure that the onboarding system that we have in place, you guys, is duplicatable. And what do I mean? What you do for one, you have to be able to do for 100 as they're coming in, right? Some months you're going to have 5 new teamies. Some months you're going to have 2 new teamies. And you want to make sure that what you're doing is duplicatable and it's not unrealistic. Like, you sent them balloons and you sent them flowers. Imagine you get 4 new teamies that month. That's going to be a whole lot of expensive things, right? So make sure, hi Irene, make sure that it's duplicatable, whatever you are doing, okay? Because listen, burnout is real. Burnout is a real thing. We want to make sure that we are working smarter, not harder, and we want to make sure that what we're doing is attractive to our teamies. We want to make them want our job, right? And if we're constantly on the phone, which I'll talk about in a minute, then they're going to be like, oh God, I don't want to be doing that. She was answering my calls at 11 o'clock. I don't want to be able, I don't want to be doing that, right? Make it attractive. Burnout is real. Set your pace, and we'll talk about that in another training. So, like I said, I send them a welcome text. Um, I amp them up right away once they join, because most of them are feeling nervous. Most of them are feeling unsure. Most of them are like, oh my God, what did I just do? I'm not ready for this. So I amp them up. I rally and I just say, hey, girlfriend, let's get started. So excited for you. Click on the link and let's get going. Okay. Something to that extent. You don't have to use those words if that's not how you talk, but that's how I talk. So, next. I want to make sure I go in the right order. I schedule a call within 24 to 48 hours. Once they join, I say, hey, girlfriend, okay, I'm so excited. Let's get a call scheduled within the next 24 to 48 hours to get you training for the beginning steps of your journey. Okay. And then it's either via Zoom, it's either via Facebook, it's either FaceTime or phone call, whatever they prefer. Okay. So I let them choose. Then I tell them, and by the way, have you had a chance to look at your workstation launch? First things first, launch. Have you got to do that yet? And if they say no, I say, okay, try to have that done by the time we start our phone call tomorrow at 5 p.m. Why do I say that? I say that because those first things, you guys, on that checklist, and by the way, in parentheses, if you didn't know, you could go onto the workstation and type in first things first list on your workstation search bar, and it'll pop up the videos that they get sent on that list. Because I know for me, those videos didn't exist when I joined, so I'm kind of like, what is that? Did you guys know that? Did you know you can go on workstation under the search bar and type that in, and you'll find those videos? I encourage you to watch them at some point when you have free time, so you can see what they're learning and you can piggyback on that and be like, hey, okay, did you get to watch the videos? Oh yeah, I learned about how to set up a party, or I learned this. Isn't that awesome? Like, and you could speak from what's on that video. That's a good leader, knowing what your people are watching, right? Knowing what they're being trained on. So I schedule their call and say, please have your first things first launch checklist done by our phone call, whenever it is, 24 to 48 hours, by Monday, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, great. Also, importantly, if they do not complete that launch your business checklist, they are void from any sensational start prizes. They will show incomplete and they won't get their rewards. And I'll show you that on a report that I'm gonna teach you guys how to do reports and stuff like that also. Okay, so schedule a call. Make sure they're doing their launch, their business checklist first before your call starts. Okay. Now on the call, so the call's here 24 to 48 hours later. This is what I start with. I say, welcome, congratulations, I'm so excited for you. The very first thing I say or ask is, tell me what your why is. Hi, Ariel. So I say, tell me what your why is. Now, why do I do this? Because, and I explain it to them after. So I say, Ariel, tell me what your why is. What made you decide to jump into Scentsy? What was the thing that pushed you over to say, you know what, Ree, let's sign up? What is it? So then I'll wait for them to answer. Some say I need extra cash. Some say I need a hobby. Some say I need to keep busy. Some say I'm not sure. I wanted to try it out. Some say I just wanted to buy it for myself. Listen to their why. And then after they say their why, and I say, okay, well, here's why I asked you that, Ariel. The reason why I asked you is because there's going to be amazing months where you do phenomenal. You're going to have sales up the yin yang. Things are going to be happy and fun. And then there's going to be times where, oh, my chair's sinking. There's going to be times where you're struggling for sales, or there's going to be times where you don't feel like doing Scentsy anymore, right? So I want you on their paper, and I'll show them. I have a paper for you. I'll say, I have a paper for you. And on the back of it, I write your why. And then when you're struggling or saying, you know what, I don't think this is for me after all, I want to say, well, Ariel, didn't you tell me that you wanted to make some extra cash to be able to take your husband out to dinner? Or didn't you say you wanted to, hi Vanessa, or didn't you, remember when you said you wanted to have something all your own outside of being a mom and outside of being a wife? So that way we have that connection with them. That way we know what their personal why is, and we're starting to bond with them as a person and not just as a teenie. Does that make sense? That's the very first question I ask them. Then after that I say, so what's your goal? Tell me what your financial goal is in this business. Now, hear me out. If they just said, I want to just buy Scentsy for myself. I don't want to do this as a business. I just want to buy it for the discount. I enrolled for the discount. Then you say, okay, great. And you just change the wording. Let me ask you, is there a financial goal that you have? I know you just said that you wanted to buy it for yourself, but is there something like that would be cool? Like, hey, 50 bucks extra, like groceries or gas tank or something like that. So wording is different, right? So if they say it's for a hobby, you go that way. If they say they need extra cash for bills or want to help out husband or want to da da da, then you take the other route. Okay, so that's why we're listening, and that's why it I cannot give you a skeleton to say this, say this, say it, because everybody's different. If they say, they want to work it to get income, so you say, what's your goal? Tell me what you would like to get in a check. Most say anywhere from 250 bucks. Most say that number is huge with me when they first join. I don't know why, but it just is. Okay, so you want to do $250 a month. Okay, so in order to do that, no, so once they say that, I say, okay, great, I'm noting that down, and we're gonna work towards that after your 15 days or whatever you want to say, and you'll understand why I said that right now. Okay, so ask their why, and then ask their financial goal. By the way, you guys, that form that I just showed you, all of that is uploaded into the file system. Okay, I mean the files in this page on the top. Okay, it's very important to listen. If your person just told you they don't want to sponsor, they don't want to do this as a business, it's complete, they just want to casually do this with no pressure, and you pour out all of this stuff on them, you're going to train them right out of the business. You're going to train them, and you're going to overwhelm them to the point where they don't want to do this anymore, right? Okay, so we have to listen. We have to listen to what they're saying. Next, I jump in and say, hey, okay, so you said you're ready to go. You want to try this out as a business. Scentsy has what is called a shooting star goal. Now, it's an optional goal. There's no pressure to complete this or achieve it, but here's what it is. $500 in sales within your first 15 days. If you hit that, you get this cute little star charm bracelet that you get to wear, whatever. But more importantly, you get the option to purchase what's called a shooting star enhancement kit. And inside that kit is $300+ worth of product that you only pay $200 for, and then that counts towards your sales, and you get commission on that, and you can turn around and sell it for retail if you want to. Right? So we have to make sure that we let them know it is an optional goal. Then after I explain to them what that is, I say, so does this sound like something that you would want to try for? You get two answers. Oh God, I don't know, that sounds like a lot. Or no, I don't really want to try for it. Whatever happens, if it happens, it happens. Okay, great, no problem, let's move on. I do not pressure them. I do not say, well, you really should. I don't. I give it, and then if they say yes, I say, great. The very first thing I want to do is I want to get your launch party date on the schedule. I don't ask them. I don't say, do you want a launch party? Okay, they do have the option, but if they think coming in that they have an option to say no, then most likely they're scared, they're nervous, they don't want to do something like that. Let me ask you, what date should we put your launch party on? And a launch party, I'm offering to do it for you, is a Facebook launch party. I stand in front of that cubby. I say this all the time. I stand in front of that cubby and I do a product live demonstration for your friends and your family so that they can feel more comfortable and confident in their purchase. Okay, so then, okay, so you're going to do it right away. I let them know I'm going to do their launch party for them. Now let me say this. If you are sponsoring new people and you are not offering a launch party, or you are saying that you don't do launch parties for your people, you are handicapping yourself as a leader for growth, and you're handicapping them because they're new and they don't know what the hell to do, right? So it's not mandated by Sensi that you have to do their launch party. However, more success has come from those that have said, you know what, Rihanna, yes, I want you to do my launch party, versus those that say no and try to figure it out on their own and they don't know what they're doing, right? Do you guys offer launch parties for your people? Give me a thumbs up. Um, okay, so once they say, okay, let's look at our calendar. I always have my planner with me. Always. Okay, let's look at the calendar. Okay, are you available Friday at 6 p.m.? Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. So then I'll say, I'm going to walk you through creating a group on Facebook, and it's going to be just me and you at first until the page is completely set up. Then we'll start inviting new people. And if you're on my team, you know this is what we've done. Okay. So then I go into detail on how to set it up, and I can go that's a whole nother training. I don't want to emphasize that too much, but I walk them through how to set up their Facebook page for their party that turns into their VIP after. Okay. Moving on. Then I say, okay, so your next goal after Shooting Star, because right now you get paid 20% commission. If you hit certified, which is $1,000 in sales, you will get a promotion and a pay raise. You jump from 20% to 25%, just like that, and you give yourself a pay increase. Now I say this. There's no time restraint on that. However, the faster you hit your 1,000, the faster you get your paycheck. And that's the good thing about going for Shooting Star, because it puts you halfway there. Connected the two, right? Oh, 500 and then 1,000. Yeah, I can do that. It's in chunks, right? It makes it sound doable, which it is. Okay, so then I talk to them about certified. Okay, then I say, all right, so your kit hasn't came yet, but I want you to do a huge favor to yourself. When your kit comes in, I want you to do a live unboxing. If you don't want to show your face, that's okay. This is going to get people to understand what you're doing. Before this, let me back up a step. I say, I want you to shout out after this. Your very first homework assignment tonight is to shout out on social media that you are now a Sensi consultant. And then I tell them, when you do that, I want you to include your party link. Now, we didn't talk about party link, did we? Not yet. But look, if they did that first things first on their checklist, then that walks them through in creating their very first party link. And I'm going to tell them, make sure to include your party link on your shout out. Oh, what's a party link? That means they didn't do the checklist. If they don't have a party link created, this is where we pause and say, okay, let's go create your party link real quick. And then after we're done with our training, I want you to go on live and post that you are now a Sensi consultant, and tell them that you're going to have a live product demonstration coming up soon, but they don't have to wait to shop. They can include the link. Go ahead and start shopping now. I will be inviting you soon to my live product demonstration. Okay. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Right. So then, after I tell them to do their live unboxing, when it comes, I'll say, if you don't want to do a live yet, that's fine. Maybe take a picture and show the people that what you have in your box. Get them excited. Ask them who wants to smell samples, who wants to do a sip and sniff type of thing. So that we're already starting to show them how to promote the business, right? Okay. So then we schedule their launch party. I already said that. It's either going to be on Facebook or Zoom. They can do in-person too. You don't have to do, if you're not comfortable doing in-person launches, you guys, if that's not what you're doing right now because of COVID, don't do it. Offer them the Facebook Live, and that's it. If they take it, they take it. If not, you can show them how to do other avenues, okay? You do not have to be present at her home party if you don't want to, but the Facebook Live, if she wants to do it on her own, which it hasn't happened too often yet, honestly, you guys, I think one or two people said, well, I want to do it, but can you be there live? And I'm like, yeah, of course, girl, and I'll just hype her up in the background, so you can do it either way. Okay, now, a lot of you said, I don't know what to do once, like, leadership-wise. That's going to be the second part of our training right now. But did you guys know, inside the workstation, there is what's called a new sponsor checklist. Go into Workstation, print this out, keep it in your binder. Type it in the search bar, new sponsor checklist. On here, it tells you what to do when you get a new teamie. Contact your new consultant within 24 hours. Share your excitement. Give them the welcome packet that includes your contact information in the best way and times to reach you. I will share my welcome packet because I got to put one together for my new teamie. Okay? Invite them to connect with you on your social media. Discover their why. Understand what they want from Scentsy and their goals. Review the first things first checklist and encourage them to complete everything on it as soon as possible. Talk about shooting star, sensational start, and how they earn them. I don't talk about sensational start the very first conversation because it's too far out. I want them to focus on shooting star and certified. Those are what comes before sensational start anyways, unless they get a teamie right away. Okay? So you do it how you prefer, but the less information, the better. Let them take little chunks and bites out of their goal. Okay, and then it talks to help with their launch event, and then it gives you information. If you didn't know that, go ahead and print it out now. I will actually upload this to the files as well for us. Okay. I also have a new consultant checklist launch checklist that I go through, and it's like, did they complete their first things first? Then any questions. Then complete it, I'll check it off. Watch the videos, the consultant videos, the launch your business checklist. If they're a reinstatement, I say, did you click on the link for reinstatement? Are you on the squad goals page? Add yourself to the Facebook group. Then it talks about, it's just a whole list, you guys, of what I do. Okay? And it's pretty much what we just went over. Now, I tell them to make sure that they read the consultant guide that comes with their kit. If it's not in their kit, I believe the host kit does not come with that. I could be wrong. But if they need a copy, all they have to do is go into Workstation and type in the search bar consultant guide or product guide, print it out, and they can have it with them, or they can order one through the consultant store on the Workstation. That is going to be their Bible. You're welcome, Vanessa. That is going to be how they become confident in the products we sell. It talks about the return policy. It talks about the voltage. It talks about the cord length. It talks about the light bulbs. It talks about materials. It talks about all this stuff. So if we direct them to the product guide, hey, make sure you read through that product guide like it's your Bible, because this is how you're going to become more confident in the products that we sell. It talks about the pet line and how the products, the ingredients. It talks about the clean line and why we do what we do. And okay, consultant guide, same thing. It goes over all the awards. It talks about compliance. It talks about our mission statement. So make sure that we're directing them to the product guide and we're directing them to the consultant guide. Okay? Both can be found in Workstation. At this point, as a leader, and I say this with love and kindness and all the stuff, ignorance is a choice. If you do not know how to do something, are you going and searching for it? Okay? Because when I first started, you guys, we didn't have this. I had a sponsor, I had a director, I had a star director, I had a superstar director. But we didn't have these types of trainings where people would sit and discuss step by step. I kind of just started searching YouTube. I kind of just started going through the consultant guide. I remembered what I needed to do to get my business to where it's at, and then that's what I started implementing. But since we do have access to all this stuff now, after asking you guys, what did you feel the need for? And a lot of it was like our first things first as a leader. Like, what do we do? And I'm glad you guys were vulnerable, and I'm glad you guys were able to post your needs. And little by little, I'm going to do trainings like this so that I can upload them here, and then you can add your new leaders here so that they can have the benefit of that. And you could say the same thing, like, oh, when I first started, I didn't have that, but now, it is what it is. There is Google, there is YouTube, there is Workstation, the first things first checklist, there's all of that stuff. So there's no reason for ignorance. There's no reason to stay in ignorance. Okay, if you want to learn first things first on blah, 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 type it in. Leadership, Scentsy, type it in. Recruiting, type it in. Generating sales, type it in. Don't wait for your sponsor or your director or your superstar director to do any type of trainings, because we are independent consultants. Go find what you need to learn, right? And teach your team the same thing. Do not ever hinder a new teamie from sponsoring a new teamie. Ever in the history of ever. Because when I launched my people, you guys, my hair is bugging me, you guys. When I launched my new teamies, one of the questions I asked them is, tell me how you feel. What if somebody comes up to you and says, you know what, Kathy, I want to do this with you. Can I join your team? Do you have a team? And you say no. Guess what? That person is going to go find someone to join under. Okay? Learn as you go. We can all learn together. Trust me, none of us know everything, and those who think that you do, have a seat, girlfriend, boyfriend, because you don't. Okay? So don't be hesitant to encourage your new teamies to build a team and tell them, hey, I'm kind of new too, but we can learn together. Hey, I know you're new, but your best friend can learn alongside you. How exciting is that? We have the training tools, and I'm trying to equip and put everything together for us here so that we can feel confident in saying, you know what, you're a new teamie. Don't worry, we have a leaders page where you just go on and you click and you watch and you print and you do. And you know what I mean? That's what I want. I want us to have that here. Do what works best for you in your systems. We'll talk about that shortly. But ask your teamie, how do you learn best? Are you a visual learner? Are you a hands-on learner? What type of learner are you? Write that on your paper so that you know what type of learner they are. Because they may want to be left alone. Oh, I'm a visual learner. Okay, great. I'm just going to send you links of stuff to watch. If you have somebody you need to walk through, that's different. Hey, we're going to meet up at my house on Wednesday and we're going to put these packets together or whatever. Okay? Our goal as a leader is to make them as independent as possible, as fast as possible. Okay? It is not your job to be at their beck and call. It is not your job to be answering phone calls and texts at 11 p.m. because they're asking you questions. That's not your job. You are not a 24-hour CVS or whatever it is, Walmart. You're not that. You are a business owner. Same thing again. Do what you put your system in place for one that you would do for 100. Imagine some of you are saying, well, I don't mind right now because you're shooting yourself in the foot, and I am talking from experience. Nobody told me this, and I thought I was doing phenomenal, and I was. I'm gonna toot my own horn. Toot toot. I was doing great, but I was exhausted, and I was burning myself out, and I was answering phone calls at every hour of the night because I felt like if I didn't help them, I wasn't being a good leader. You're not being a good leader, first of all, by giving them all the answers and not telling them where to find the stuff from. And guess what? If somebody messages you and says, "Hey, Ree, do you know when the Batman is gonna launch? What time?" Oh, I mean, we have access to the same thing. Go ahead and go on Workstation, go on News tab, and look it up there. Scroll, you'll find it. I could have easily said it's going to launch between 9:56 and there's going to be, but then next time another LTO happens, which is like every week right now, they're going to be like, hey Ree, hey Ree, hey Ree, because I'm not teaching them how to fish. I'm just giving them the fish. I don't want to do that, and you don't want to do that. It may sound great, and you're like, everybody loves you because you're everybody loves you because you're always available, and you're like, da da da. Great. Let's see how that lasts, how long that lasts, and how bitter by that point you'll be a year later when your team is 3, 4, 5 times that size, and you're getting texts and calls because they expect that now because that's what you created in your culture. There's nothing wrong with helping. And sometimes I will give answers here and there. Not a big deal. But it's not, if you ever text me and I say, hey, You could find it here. Don't take it personal like I hate you or I'm mad at you or I don't like you or anything like that. No, I love you and I want you to succeed. My job is to help you succeed and to get the tools you need to succeed and put them in your own tool belt instead of you reaching in my tool belt all the time, right? Same thing. Start now. If you have one teamie, you start now. If you're 50 deep and you got to set a new standard, do that. Do for one what you can do for 100. Now, the systems that I use, anyone in my team, anybody that has a group of people that are sponsoring other people, that is your team. That is your team until a director comes in. For example, let's say Gina Mykobi. Her group was in my team until she hit director. Now that's her group and that's her team. However, her group is no longer in my team. They're still in my group, my big group, but they're no longer in my team because Gina hit director. Now she goes, okay, come on team, I'm going to take you over here and we're going to do our thing. Okay? They're still in the big squad goals group, but now they're a Fantastic Hustlers team. Anybody in my team that gets a new teamie, that new teamie gets a text from me, a welcoming text. So important to be able to reach out to every new person that's brought under your line, because once you hit director, they all become your responsibility. Like they come under your umbrella. And what if they don't know you because you never said anything to them from the day they joined? Now, if they did it before, if they joined before today and you never introduced yourself and you never sent a welcome text and you never had a conversation, guess what? It's not too late. Create something cute on Canva and say, hey, I don't know if I ever reached out to you, but I'm your upline Vanessa, and I just want to introduce myself. Please let your sponsor know if you have any questions, but also we're a big happy group. Let me know if there's anything that you need help with or if you have any questions. Just welcome to whatever the group you are part of. Okay? Every single new person in my team gets a welcome text. Hi, I'm Rihanna Franco. I'm either your director or your sponsor. I don't create two different ones because it's too much time. Okay, so my sponsor, the personal sponsor one, gets the same one. I'll say I'm either your sponsor and director, or I'm your director, superstar director. Okay, I just wanted to welcome you to Squad Goals. I'm so excited to have you here. Make sure you touch base with your sponsor if you have any questions, whatever. That's how the email or the text runs. Okay, so every new person gets a text from me. I let them know that their sponsor is their go-to person, not me. Make sure you reach out to your sponsor to get your training or whatever. They all go through the new consultant checklist. Okay, the new consultant checklist. I can upload that for you guys as well. I've never told you guys about this group, and it completely slipped my mind, and here's why. The group is called Wax Boss Launch. Wax Boss Launch on Facebook. It was created by a few consultants that helps new teamies jump in and get creative with things that help them get their business going. I encourage you to join that group and then add your new teamies if you've had any new teamies. Now, here's why I forgot. There's not too many people active in that group. And I don't know why, because it's great. I even peeked at it today. When I remembered it, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about this group. It's a great group. Wax Boss Launch. It's open to anybody who wants to add new teamies on there, and there's lots of good creative stuff for your new teamies. Join it today. Add your new teamies. I also use Project Broadcast. It's a very difficult program to learn. However, I watched Allison Dalkey's training on Facebook. Good, Ariel. I'm glad. And I will upload it here for those who want it. I gotta find it. It's very tricky to find because it's on her Shine page. It's not on her YouTube page that I could find anyways. And she walks you through each step of setting up your project broadcast. What is project broadcast? It's a drip campaign text that you just enter the campaigns, like whatever you want sent to people, which is my onboarding system. And I just put the phone number in and put at, and then it starts day 1, day 3, day 7. Let me tell you, for example, one of the things on Project Broadcast is my New Teamie campaign, right? My onboarding. Where is it at? New Teamie onboarding. Okay, and it has a drip campaign of 19 messages. Okay, and it looks like this. Day 1, the day they join, the message, hello, welcome to our Sensi family. My name's Rihanna, and I'm either your sponsor or director and superstar director. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Over the next 70 days, you'll receive a series of text messages from me with tips and tricks to kick off your business successfully, starting with this video, and it's a training video. First things first, make sure you remember to join our Facebook page. This is where we share tips, info, and wax news. I include the link to the Squad Goals page. Next up, make sure you schedule your launch party as soon as possible. This is where you'll jumpstart your business. I recommend a Facebook Live launch party or a home launch party, but something is better than nothing. Sending hugs and love to you and can't wait to get to know you. The minute they join and I text them, that's what they get. This is for my team. Anybody on my team that does not have a director between them. Okay? Then there's like day 3, and it talks about what is on day 3. Make sure to take a picture of the contents of your kit, and then it goes all the way day 25. Biggest thing I always forget to mention is the perpetual host reward. So it's literally breaking down what people ask in the first few days or weeks of their business. It is so worth it, you guys. It takes a minute to set up. Yes, hallelujah. I was frustrated, but I didn't give up. If you want that training, I'm going to upload it, and feel free to walk yourself through Project Broadcast. We need to be able to make sure that we're working our business without being on the phone 24 hours a day. This does it for me. It does it for me. I don't have to remember to send this girl this message because she's in that drip campaign. It's going to automatically be sent to her. Their first paycheck will either make them or break them. It will. If they get a low paycheck or like, oh, then they're going to be like, this is too much work. I don't want to do this. But if they get a great paycheck, they're going to be like, wow, I made this much money doing this. And this is what I've been told over and over by especially, my teamies. Oh my gosh, friend, I'm making, yes, it's real. Help them be successful. And let me say this. We're creating leaders, not leeches. And do not ever, ever let any of your teamies make you feel bad for teaching them to be independent. We are creating leaders, not leeches. Do not let them blame you. If by chance you do not have a good sponsor, or your sponsor's not present, or they stop selling, it's nobody's responsibility but your own to find the training that you want or need for yourself to grow, because we're independent consultants. We're not always going to have the best sponsor. We're not always going to have the best director. We're not always going to have the best star director. We're not ever always going to have the best superstar director. Some of you guys may not even like me, but that's okay. I'm not for everybody, just like you're not for everybody. That doesn't mean you cannot grow as an individual. Get training somewhere else if you don't want to watch my trainings. Go get training somewhere else if you don't want to watch your director's trainings or your sponsor's training. Just don't make excuses and blame anybody else, right? I have a lot planned for this page. I'm going to really revamp it, and I'm really, really going to focus in on making sure that you guys have the tools at your fingertips, but it's up to you to use those tools. I'm excited for what's to come. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and message me. I did upload a bunch of stuff on the page today with my business hours, with my cell phone number. I want you guys to feel comfortable in reaching out to me. There is a chain of command, and I'm not going to train you if you're not my personal frontline, or how it works if your sponsor's not present. I will not be training you personally, hands-on, and I will not go around your sponsor, and I will not go around your director, because I don't do that kind of stuff. But if there's ever anything you want to say, I love you too, girlfriend. If there's ever anything you want to say, or maybe some feedback, you can text me anytime. Just don't call me. I hate phone calls. People that know me or close to me, you'll know. Like, I will stare at my phone ringing the entire time until it stops. And I'll be like, hey, what's up? I don't like phone calls. I usually am in the middle of something, so I can't be on the phone call. But you guys, I want to tell you, go through those announcements of what I posted today. It talks about starting out and earning the trust of your teamies. It talks about the leadership list of things that you should be doing as a leader. There's the promotion slips that you could print out when your people promote. There's videos for you to watch. There's forms for you to use. There's systems and trackers for you to use. And I put them up there for you guys, okay? Because I already have them. I already use them. I put them up for you guys. So if you want it, go get it. Stay tuned for more this month. As the days go by, I'm pretty much pulling back from a lot of things right now to work on this page, because you guys are my priority. Well, my front line is my priority. To be honest, I'm just saying the truth, and it should be yours too. Your front line should be your priority. But my leaders are also a priority in the business. So I want to make sure you guys have all the tools, and after reading your guys' needs this morning, I'm going to make it happen for you. And then what you do from there, we'll have another follow-up message next month, and then we'll talk about what needs to be adjusted or what needs improvement. But right now, let's give you the tools first and then start using them. All right, you guys, have a great Thursday. It is game 5 of the Dodgers. My husband and I and my family are going to go watch the game at a restaurant down the street, and we're going to just have some family time, and we're going to turn off the phone, and we're going to just enjoy ourselves. So have a great evening, you guys. Be blessed, and go Dodgers.